like I was saying in the first part of this video, guys, you need to compete. You need to outcompete me. You need to outcompete all of their guys. That doesn't mean you have to be the very top, like 5% of men or 10% of men even. But you need to bring enough to the table. The thing about the competition is you're not in direct competition. It's not like I'm going on a date with the woman you're interested in and then you are. And it's like a one-to-one comparison. No, that's not how the competition of dating works. How it works is you need to be able to bring at least a medium level to the table. Have things that are about you that women find attractive, and you need to represent yourself accordingly. Give the woman a reason to be attracted to you, and you'll do fine. You don't need to be top tier, you just need to be mid. The bar is pretty low, and it's so much harder for like women, say like a woman who's naturally unattractive. How is she going to compete? Seriously. Like, we live in a time, like, you got to think about it from the example. Just imagine you're a woman and you're unattractive, physically unattractive. You're screwed. It's way harder for you to come up with ways. Now, what they should be doing is like learning how to cook, being like a very clean person who can provide like stability to a household and contribute, like maybe get into gardening, like come up with ways to where if you're in a long-term relationship with a man where you can actually contribute, you can help him save money, help him earn money, bring stability and like awesomeness to his life. I don't know what's going on with this camera. It's like auto tracking, but the auto tracking's off, which I've been trying to figure out how to turn off, but it will not. Like it's all over the place. It's moving. But we'll continue to see what he's got to say.
Men's minds are still programmed the same way they would have been 20,000 years ago. So, in essence, when you look at the way men's minds have evolved, it should be obvious that there are plenty of men still queuing up for women to simp to this day. After all, it is all they've ever known. Now, in terms of solutions, the only way to rectify this would be to educate all men on these dating market changes, so they'd understand that their default urges of trying to attract women through resource provision aren't as relevant anymore. However, this solution would be almost impossible to implement, because even though times have changed, you can't just undo tens of thousands of years worth of evolution overnight. And to provide evidence to this, just look at this channel. What do you think I've been trying to do for the last 2 years? It's been my mission to awaken guys to the fact that looks are now the most important factor in today's dating game.
But that's false. I've reacted to your videos before. That's false. Or even if that's the case, why do you care? Why does it matter? Why, like, I know you don't say that guys should just give up all that much, but that's what most guys take from this kind of stuff is like, oh, well, I'm ugly, so it's not even worth it. I'm ugly and I'm short and I'm broke, so it's not worth it. That's a terrible message to send. I completely, fundamentally disagree. Completely disagree that your appearance, especially as a man in dating, is the most important thing, most important element to dating. I 1,000% disagree. But even if it was, it still wouldn't, even if you believed that it was, it still would be like a small percentage, right? Like even if you said it's like 30%, and then all the other aspects of dating, like who you are, your status, how fun you are, how close you are with your family, whether you'd be good with kids, whether you you know, how emotionally stable you are, whatever the other elements are, like you couldn't possibly believe that like looks are like 90% of everything. Even if you believed that looks were what women care about, which all mathematics show that it's not. you still couldn't, with a straight face, say that it's more than 30%, even if it was the biggest piece of the pie. So even in that bizarro world where it is the biggest chunk of the pie and it's 30%, well, guess what? There's still 70% of other crap you can do. It's not hopeless. And the thing is, what I'm saying is that it's not even close to 30% of the pie. It's like maybe 10% of the pie, right? There needs to be some sort of physical attraction, but women aren't even all that physically attracted to men in general. It is so insignificant to them, and you can establish a physical attraction without being physically attracted. Like, look at this image here on this video, 7 reasons why women only date up. Backed by data. No, it's not backed by data. You're so ridiculous when you make these statements. That is a ridiculous generalization. That is actually, the data shows the complete opposite. Yes, these stupid studies where women look at just the looks, if they rate guys, what they do is they show them all these pictures of all these men, just like this, just like he's showing, a quick thumbnail, a snap of the head, and say, oh, rate these against each other. And guess what? Women are going to rank men far lower in general. Like, all of the men are going to be ranked low, mostly, right? It's going to be very bottom heavy. Whereas men, it's going to be more like even and more top heavy, right? Because men are going to find women more physically attractive just in general. Whether it's a picture of their face or a picture of their upper body or even their full body. The physical connection that a woman has to a man is so much more complicated than just like what his face looks like or even what his body looks like. It's so crazy. It is so crazy. Like, I'm sorry, but that's not what data is. Data isn't you just point to some study that doesn't even conclude. You don't just point to a study and say this means this conclusion. Based off what? That you're just saying it comes to this conclusion. When I'm saying it comes to the complete opposite. You're just assuming that A is A, so thus B is B. They got nothing to do with each other. They really got, like, they have almost nothing to do with each other. Like, let's be serious here. So yeah, women are less attracted to men in general. Okay. Who cares? They're still dating men. It's not like suddenly there's like way less relationships occurring. There's some less. You could say like anywhere from 2 to 5% less. I don't think that's true. I would say, hey, where's the data to back that up? It doesn't exist. But like, what does it matter? Like, what are you even talking about here? Like, it's so meaningless. It's so meaningless. It's like, oh, well, you know, it's real easy for women to match with any guy on Tinder. Who cares? What does that have anything to do with dating? Like, nothing. Like basically nothing.
And all in all, I've amassed 11 million views, which...
That's shocking. Basically, what you're doing is you're telling incels what they want to hear. You're confirming to incels that it's hopeless for them. That looks are all that women are looking for, which is insane. It's false. It's wildly false. It's ridiculously false. If anything, data like that, data that shows that men are more physically attracted to women than women are to men, that literally proves that women are less into looks than men are. That looks aren't that important to them.
Although impressive sounding, this is still less than 0.25% of the entire world's pop.
I gotta know what your dating history is, dude. I have to know. Because you come across as though you have no idea what you're talking about. Like, you have no concept of what women find attractive and what they don't. If the entire purpose of your channel is to tell men, hey, women only care about looks, You're ridiculous if you believe that. You have not dated women if you believe that. You in this data you talk about in your videos, it literally demonstrates the opposite. Like, you're just coming to these ridiculous conclusions based off of something like, oh, women rate men's looks as less attractive than men date women's looks. Therefore, women only care about looks? What the hell are you talking about? What are you smoking, dude? Please explain it in any kind of way that makes any sense. It's just black pill gibberish.
Population. Anyway, this brings me nicely to my next point, which is that even if men knew they could change, would they really want to? In other words, are men blinding themselves by their own delusions because they're refusing?
Men should, right? Like, it's a good thing, right? If you're, the mission of your channel is that men need to improve their looks, okay, fine. That's fine. Yeah, you're going to have more dating success if you improve your looks. That's better than being hopeless and doing nothing. And maybe that's kind of the way that you're coming at this whole thing. Maybe that's the purpose of your channel. But I don't know. You need to make that more clear. And if anything, increasing your looks is very minimal. You're missing the big picture. Like, men, you're never going to have much success by just increasing your looks. Looks are one of the least important things in dating. It's one of the most important if you're on a hookup app like Tinder, where the whole purpose is you're just quickly swiping based off looks. Do I want to sleep with this person? Yes or no? Yeah, you're going to have more success if you're more good looking, of course. But actual dating is way more complex than that. And what the big issue is you having a complete lack of personality. You have no riz. You're not presenting your personality well enough. You're not presenting your interests in a way that women find appealing. You're not talking to them about their interests. It's not hard to talk to somebody about their interests. I've talked to tons of women and even men about their interests. And it's stuff I have no idea about. It's their interest. It's not mine.
Using to accept the harsh realities of modern dating? My answer is yes. Sometimes. And there's evidence scattered everywhere in my own comment sections to prove that. Here I've selected just a few which showcase how staunchly in denial some guys can be, even when slapped in the face of such glaring confirmation that looks is more important than ever in modern dating. Tragic how many people actually believe this black pill rubbish. Looks do not matter when it comes to dating.
I mean, what these comments are saying, exactly, like this comment at the bottom is perfect. Looks don't matter. Hypergamy is what low self-esteem guys worry about. That's 100% the truth. These guys who talk about this this black pill stuff are like the least confident loser guys who are not dating at all. They're the ones complaining about it. Like, what? In these other comments, they're so vague and non-specific. You're not like presenting anything. Like, I hope you argue against them, but there's not enough meat on the bone. These are very short comments that aren't really diving deep into the topic at hand, right? And I'm sure you won't ever dive deep into any of these topics because that doesn't really seem like your thing.
It's charisma, confidence, and one's ability to flirt. Looks don't matter. Now, the explanation... The thing is, what I mean by that is you're way better off just grifting, just making content like this, where it's just... You're just confirming what these, like, black pillars, what these incels already believe. Yeah, you're going to get a ton of audience doing that, but actually diving deep, actually having a real deep conversation and talking... If you just talked to a couple of men who've actually dated... instead of these like weirdo incels, you'd actually get a lot of insight into dating, but you'd rather just like grift to incels. Why guys are like this is because men will have the hardest time coming to terms with the black pill. For some, the truth is just too hot to handle. And
Too hot to handle. All right. Wow. That's such an insane statement, dude. It's too hot to handle. The black pill is too hot to handle. No, well, first of all, it's just clearly false and dumb. I've made a ton of content covering that exact topic as to how it's false and dumb. And any guy out there, it's any guy who's dated, who has had any kind of success in their dating life, knows the black pill is ridiculous. So, like, oh, it's just too hot to handle. It's just mainstream opinion. What? Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What does the first half of this video have anything to do with the second half? Because I agree with you. Simping is never going to work. If you're a beta orbiter, you're a tier 3 sub, you need to get out of that world. You are not going to have any success with women. You're actually, if any, you're not really, you're in the wrong place. You're doing the wrong things. These women want nothing to do with you, and they never will. So we agree mostly. We almost entirely agree about simps being ridiculous. But this stuff, like, I don't know how you're trying to connect this to the black pill at all. Right? Like, are you saying that this guy who says hypergamy is what low self-esteem guys worry about, are you trying to say this guy's a simp? How? Like, demonstrate how these two things don't connect to each other.
why can't they handle the truth? Well, if a man goes online seeking the truth about dating, he's going to be exposed to many different communities. He's going to see those blue pill articles, like the ones shown earlier that say it's a fantastic idea to simp. He's also going to encounter pickup artists.
I can't stand this thing either, right? And this guy does this in a few different videos. You're just throwing out these random categories. You're just saying stuff without any like what? Okay, if you talk about dating, you're gonna get some interaction by other people who talk about dating. Okay, and what are you can make 4 arbitrary categories of people. Okay,
red pill self-improvement gurus, and maybe black pill too if he reaches as far as my channel. Anyway, of all of these top ones are the most alluring because they take the least effort by far. Blue pill, just be nice, just buy her some.
I would probably be this red pill self-improvement guru, because I think there's genuine value in red pill stuff, because red pill is just saying, hey, society kind of is geared to screw over men. Things are difficult for men, and society ignores that. Feminism, wokeism, modern society completely ignores that. Now, the red pill community gets heavily drawn down by the black pill, right? Like, there's so much. Unfortunately, there's a lot of crossover. It's like the black pill is infecting the red pill with its like hatred towards society and dating and self-improvement. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's see what he has to say about it.
And a bouquet of flowers. She'll be falling head over heels for you. Pickup art?
Yeah, I agree with that completely. The blue pill, these male feminists, these white knights, they're the worst. They're the most toxic. They're like, avoid those guys like the plague, women, because they're usually the dangerous ones who commit crimes against you. And yeah, I mean, there's category 4. There's definitely that as well. So, but yeah, it's there. The extreme ends, I guess.
Just use these copy-paste texts and canned pickup lines I came up with. There's no way she won't like that. In fact, it's only when we get to red.
I don't get it. I don't get that statement, because I would say that like pickup artists they're applying some of the principles of the red pill, for sure, which is like play the numbers. Because the biggest issue that men have in dating is they're just not even asking out women. They're not even trying. They just accept this idea that, oh, well, I'm not good looking, so I'm never going to get a girlfriend anyway. I'm just never going to even try. Whereas actually, like, pursuing women in the way that in most online dating is pretty generic. So this stuff of that these pickup artists that you're describing of copy and paste, yeah, that gets guys laid. That gets guys dates. That gets guys relationships because they're approaching dating apps in the ridiculous method that you should be approaching dating apps primarily. Is, hey, this isn't even designed for us to get like a deep understanding of each other. This is just designed for there to be minimal riz and let's go on a date. So playing the numbers makes the most sense. Not just in online dating, but dating in general. Like, I don't see how there's any issue with that and why you put it in this like blue pill adjacent category.
When we see talk of the monstrous amount of work needed to have a fulfilling dating life. At least these gurus will tell you actually need to dedicate some serious efforts, years in the gym, weeks in a dark room alone trying to build a career or business. And finally, when we get to black pill, this teaches you the importance of improvement, but it also says how crazily difficult it is to climb the ladder of success.
No. You're right, that is what black pill does. And this is often what red pill does. But that's exactly why they fail. That's exactly why they're false, why they're so horribly incorrect. Because both the black pill and the red pill here, in your example, are explaining like spending years in the gym, doing this like absolutely crazy amount of effort. At least the red pill people are doing anything to improve and move forward. These black pill losers are doing absolutely nothing, right? They just I have to put in effort. Screw that. The thing is, what they're failing to understand is you don't need to go to the gym for years. You literally don't. If you're a fat guy, guess what? You can lose weight very quickly. Calories in, calories out. You can consume the same junk food you're already consuming. Just consume less of it. Just literally just portion for calories. Just for like a week, and you'll start to get a good understanding of how much calories are in what you're consuming and how to eat the appropriate amount. And then boom, the weight will fall right off of you. Literally just Google the recommended daily intake of calories for a man. You will have the exact number. There's the calorie count on like all food you buy. It's math you can literally do in your head. If you're remotely good at doing math in your head, you can literally just do it in your head. I did that and I lost 40 pounds in less than a year. Not even like going that close. Not even putting myself in a big caloric deficit. Not even putting in very much effort at all. I'm just like, hey, I want to lose weight. I'm going to put in a very minimal effort. I put in very minimal effort. I lost 40 pounds. I've put almost all of that back on in the years. There was a pandemic and I just was like, well, screw it. Years in the gym, that's insane. All you have to do is get a very small baseline of physical activity and you'll be doing good. And literally guys who work out, right? All you have to do is work out your arms. If all you want is some kind of like visible result, all you have to do is get some weights, make sure it's heavy, right? So you might have to increase the amount of weight. Get a couple weights that are heavy and do like a half hour of different arm exercises twice a week. And literally, like I did that before. It was a while ago, but literally my arms were looking like not jacked. I wasn't looking like Tyler 1. But noticeably defined muscle. And I did it for like 3 weeks and it was noticeable. And I'm like, you know what? I don't really care. Like, I don't know. Well, the thing is, I spend a lot of time on the computer. I like to play online games and stuff. And I didn't like my arms being sore because it hindered my ability to do that. But yeah, literally what a lot of guys do, They're not spending years in the gym. They're not spending even hours in a gym per week. Most guys who are like just look a little bit okay, who have okay looking arms, they are putting in like an hour a week. They're going hard for that hour, right? Because you got to think about the time investment. The red pill and black pill are talking about this enormous time investment that makes no sense. Yeah, if you want to look like Tyler 1, you're going to be spending hours a week in the gym. But you don't need that. Is that like, why would you even want that? Plenty of women aren't even into muscular guys. So, yeah, just work out your arms. Just do a hard workout. I remember there was this video I watched. It was workout at home. Like home gym with zero money or something. And the guy literally used a towel. And he like would wrap it around his leg. And I'm just going to follow this guy's workout. Right? I don't want to pay for a gym membership because I don't care that much. I don't care to like look into all these different nutrients and really adjust my diet. I just want to look as good as I can because out of just boredom, right? So anyway, so I do this workout. It was like a half-hour workout, right? And I literally did it once a week for a couple weeks. And the guy's like, all right, a lot of you out there, you don't have a lot of time, but you want to get in shape as best you can. So this is a way you can do it and not spend a dime. He used like a towel and a pillow, something that everyone has. And you like wrapped your leg and then you like pulled up your leg from like a squatted position. And it's like, as long as you are working yourself, pushing your arms to the extreme, you like working the muscles out, which is why you want to use weights. If you're using weights that are heavy, that are difficult, you don't want to use these stupid like 20-pound weights that you could do 1,000 reps. That's not doing anything for you. That's not going to give you muscle definition, right? It will increase your endurance, but why do you need that endurance? You're not going for endurance. You're just going for aesthetic. So what you want to do is you want to push those muscles to the extreme so they just get bigger, not so they necessarily get stronger or more endurance. That's not what we're going for here. But anyway, the whole point of the workout was intensity. You're going like, I think it was like, you go for like 3 minutes super hard. Like you're working as hard as you can, and then you take a break. You're working as hard as you can, then you take a break. And it just cycles through that. And you just do what the guy's doing on the video. And it was insane how intense the workout was. And I gave up on it because I'm like, I don't care. I don't need this. This isn't actually going to help me in my dating life. I like to have fun and joke around and get to know somebody on a deep level. I'm intelligent enough to where I can connect with a woman instantaneously. Just through conversation, I will be able to riz her. I've never struggled with it. I've never failed to do it. I just don't need this advantage, right? And this idea of like your career, your business, that you need to be making millions of dollars. You need to be waking up at 5 a.m. and working out and thinking about business, thinking about how you're going to be an entrepreneur and make millions. And it's like, no, you don't. I'm not a millionaire. I'm nowhere close to a millionaire. What? Why would I need that? Literally all you need is like my house isn't even that big. It's 3 bedrooms, but it's got 1 bathroom. Like, this house ain't impressive. It's one of the smaller houses in the city I live in, right? Like, this house ain't impressing nobody. But having one is very impressive to a woman. Having a place is very impressive, right? Like, you kind of need a place to be able to spend time and to be doing all the fun stuff with each other you want to be doing. But you don't need to be a millionaire to have that. You literally just have to have a place to like live. Just don't be homeless, which is hard for some people these days with this economy. But it's not. You don't have to be some multi-millionaire, mega successful dude. You don't, and you don't have to be that to have status and success. You can, as long as you're achieving like smaller goals, as long as you're working towards something and moving forward and doing anything with your life, you'll be okay. And it just makes me so sick to my stomach that these people tell men you need to be a multimillionaire. Andrew Tate basically tells you if you're not a multimillionaire, you're a broke piece of crap who will never get a woman. Buy his course, by the way. Buy his, spend thousands of dollars on what he's selling, because somehow that will help you become a millionaire.
Black pill is the only ideology that teaches you can put in all of the work in the world into improving your dating life. And there's still going to be some chads doing better than you just because they've been dealt a better starting hand. Anyway, tying this...
No. Absolutely not. If you actually do the work to improve, I'm sorry, but no. It doesn't matter. Right? Like, what are you talking about here? I don't believe that at all. Right? Because, like, me as somebody who actually cared to self-improve, to actually develop as a person, become a good person, change things about me, improve, elevate other people, be positive, have success, work hard, develop. And a huge part of that is I cared about what women find attractive and what they don't, which ain't looks. And I developed those things. I got really good at talking to women, at connecting with them, mostly just by treating them like people and as equals, and not and finding out what people like, what they don't like, how to get somebody to talk about what they like, to ask. It's so simple. Like going on a first date, rizzing somebody is like so fundamentally simple. Find out what they like, ask them what they like, ask them what they're into, ask them about their family. They'll tell you. One thing that anybody who, like, the dating world should accept, what is the reality of dating, is that, like, say on a first date, the woman talks anywhere from 60 to 75% of the time. She's carrying the weight of the date. Right? It's not even like, you don't even have to be, like, skillful to be good at this. You don't even have to be good to get good at dating. It's actually crazy when you experience it. But it doesn't matter, right? Like, there's guys who are super attractive who also have riz. Guess what? If me and them are competing for the same woman, I'm probably gonna win. It's just how it is, right? Because I improved. I didn't spend years improving, right? Like, in some essence, you will constantly improve. But I spent, like, not even a year. I literally said, hey, I want to go to college. I want to get this career in STEM. I have some issues. I want to I need to be as healthy as I can mentally going forward to have all this, to achieve all the things I want to in my life. There's some things I'd like to improve, so maybe I should spend some time and I should improve those things. And I did. And it took less than a year. It was hard. It was incredibly difficult. I had to deal with deep issues, deep trauma that I have. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but easily the most rewarding. And then from there, you improve, like, your dating life. You say, hey, what are people into? What makes a successful date and an unsuccessful date? What have I done in dates that's worked and what hasn't? all right, this set of things seems to work, this set of things doesn't. Is there anything connected between those two things? Is there a reason that these things seem to not work and these things do seem to work? Why is that? Oh, is it because women like this and this about men? All right, I'm going to make sure to highlight those things about myself. Which is why I've never had a disastrous date. I've never had a date walk out on me. I've never had a date not have a pleasant time with me. And I've never had a fully unpleasant time with a date. Right? Like, I've gone on dates with people where 5 minutes in, I knew I don't want a relationship with this person. I don't want to go on a second date with this person. I wouldn't be friends with this person. I want nothing from this experience. But I'm already out. I'm already taking this person on a date. I'm going to treat them like a friend, even though I would never actually be friends with them. I'm going to at least have a good time right here and right now. Because why not? I'm out. I'm doing stuff anyway. Like, I may as well have fun with it. And I had fun with it. So, this idea that even if there are people who are more successful, right? Like, Brad Pitt is always going to have a very easy time getting women. What does that have to do with anything? There are billions of people in this world. Literally, I don't know anyone who knows Brad Pitt. Not one. Not one. Who cares if it's easier for some people and harder than for others? Of course. There's billions of people in the world. Why would it ever be equal amongst everyone? That doesn't make any sense. Why do these black pillars, these red pillars, obsess about other men? There's nothing on their mind more than other men, than Chad. It's so crazy. It's so detrimental and harmful. The last thing you should be worrying about is other men. You should be focused on women. If the whole goal of this whole thing is women, why aren't you focusing on women and what they find attractive? You'll only talk about what they find attractive in terms of like, oh, well, they rated these pictures of Tinder profiles in this way, so they must only care about physical appearance. You won't actually have a conversation about anything that women actually find attractive in the real world. It's so bizarre to me.
Back to the original points. For all the reasons just explained, this is why you see a near perfect downward correlation between the subscriber counts YouTube channels have and the difficulty of dating they teach for guys.
Oh, because it's just too hot to handle. It's too hot to handle. That's insane. That's completely insane. Now, why this might be, right? Like, are there like feminist channels that are popping off with 10 million views? Where are this blue pill dating content with like 10 million subs? Where are they? I haven't consumed that content. It's never come across me. I've never seen it. Not once. Like, why would that even exist? Like, there are women who complain about dating, but that I wouldn't categorize that as like blue pill content. And mostly because it makes more sense for women to be looking up anything to do with the dating world than it does for men, right? And if anything, I would say Fresh and Fit and a lot of these black pill content creators, they get lost in the weeds. Like Fresh and Fit and so many other red pill content creators, like Whatever Podcast or whatever it may be, instead of actually talking about men's issues and having productive conversations as to how to help men move forward, they consume themselves in negativity and like bizarre nonsense. They bring on these random 20-year-olds and ask them complex dating questions about dating and marriage, stuff that there's no reason for these women to have ever thought about at all. Oh, you need to be, let's tell some 20-year-old Instagram model that she needs to be some trad wife. Like, what is that? That's stupid. That's boring. I can't believe anyone watches that type of content at all. It's like the least intellectually stimulating topics imaginable. I can't imagine much. There's not much more vapid content on YouTube besides, oh, let's pull up a 20-year-old Instagram model that doesn't give a crap about this, and let's tell her you need to be a trad wife. You need to have these traditional values. You need to want to get married to the first guy you date. What the hell is that? That's the most boring, dumb, stupid content. And it's tragic because Fresh and Fit has made good, like the the red pill actually makes some good points about how society screws over men. Why aren't you out there having your community push like politicians to adjust policy, to change laws that screw over men? Stuff like alimony, child support, custody. Literally, there's tons of fathers out there who almost can't see their kids at all for no valid reason other than the law is rigged to help women. That's horribly messed up. That is actively harming families and harming children on a regular basis to the tunes of millions of children. How about you enact some like activism towards that instead of let's bark at a 20-year-old Instagram model because she doesn't want to get married next week. Jesus Christ. It's so stupid because it sets back men from progressing towards equality.
Subscribed Blue Pill channel is psyched to go with 10 million subs. The most subscribed pickup channel is Base Zeus at 1.4 mil. Red Pill channel is Fresh and Fit at 800k. And lastly, the most subbed Black Pill channel is yours truly, who's inches away from 100k, just like he also is from 6 feet in height. So, the bottom line of this point is that it's way more mentally reassuring to believe simping by way of the Blue Pill is the optimal...
I gotta correct you there, because there's this channel out there called Abba and Preach, and they actually, their most recent video, they talk about Fresh and Fit. And why has Abba been on the Fresh and Fit podcast? Why has he been on all these other like red pill content? Because they are red pill content creators, because they care about men's issues and a lot of their content. Look at this one, how not to take rejection. A lot of their videos have to do with dating specifically. Like, oh my god. And I'm sorry, but Abba and Preach, they are red pill content. They don't get it down the weeds of yelling at a 22-year-old OF model that she needs to completely agree with the traditional values that like some religious weirdos have. They don't do that dumb nonsense, which should have nothing to do with the red pill community at all, which the red pill community and the black pill community should be utterly ashamed is anything to do with any of their content. They don't do that nonsense. They actually make funny, informative videos and actually discuss interesting topics in an interesting way. They're guys who actually get women, unlike the Fresh and Fit podcast. And they have over 2 million subscribers. So your little graphic here, your little chart, is pretty off, man. 2 million, so that's above this guy, this pickup artist. And like pickup artists, it's weird to even have them in this sort of category at all. They don't even fit anywhere in here. And who even is this channel? This Blue Pill channel? How blue pilled are they?
10 million subs, the most YouTube channels have, and the difficulty of dating they teach for guys.
I'm leaning in.
The most subscribed Blue Pill channel is psyched to go with 10 million subs.
Sight to go. Sight to go. I've never heard of this. Sight to go. Are they even blue pilled? We will be able to see from just their Sight to go. It's not even showing up when I search it. What is it, like sight, like SIGHT? I'm not finding this channel at all. But according to him, they're like a very blue-pilled... They're the top blue-pilled dating creator. Sight to go. Is that... It genuinely... I'm searching it on YouTube. Not one thing is showing up. Very confused. Maybe if I put in dating. Yeah, I can't find it. I literally can't find it. But I was going to search through their videos and by titles, see if they're actually blue-pilled or not, because I feel like they probably aren't.
Ups. The most subscribed pickup channel is Base Zeus at 1.4 mil, Red Pill in heights. It means you as a man will never have to face the heavy truths and harsh realities of modern dating. Finally, moving on to reason 5. Simping has never been easier. We currently live in a time of abundance where resources are so plentiful, it's caused an arms race amongst simps. Throughout history, most men didn't have the time nor money to even be able to simp. Here's the
I mean, simping ain't easy. We live in a terrible economy where it's like, it's making people broke. It's making a lot of people broke. Like, these guys, they'll have not much going for them, and they will dump hundreds, thousands of dollars. Like, it's not like rich simps. Often, a lot of what's going on is that it's just a lot of small simps. It's not... Ideally, you're going to bag a whale, but there's a lot of small fish. And those small fish, they're struggling. They're struggling big time.
GDP per capita graph of the US in the last 50 years.
And I think for the whales, it's more of like this weird power trip.
You can see the significant increase where we are now 3 times richer than we were 50 years ago. And this trend will only continue in future, giving simps even more ammunition to...
What? What? Wow. I mean, I can't believe you just said this. I can't believe it.
Frivolously hand out to women.
There's no housing crisis. There's no homeless crisis. There's no economic crisis at all. We're not in like the economy is so bad. I mean, oh man, oh wow. I just wasn't expecting for someone to demonstrate so hilariously that they have no clue what they're talking about something else so like out of nowhere and so absolutely randomly out of nowhere. Wow.
Honestly, it would have taken months, if not years, of saving if a man wanted to provide a luxurious holiday for a woman. But nowadays, this is within reach for most guys and can be achieved far quicker too. What's more is access to credit is higher than ever, so guys can simp on women with money they don't even have. I've showed this data.
You're right about the credit cards, but people are so much worse off. What are you talking about? Like, wealth inequality has only gone up. People are broker than ever. Are you like, huh? What? Are you completely unaware that the cost of living has skyrocketed? Is this an AI? Is this entire channel just an AI? Like, I can't...
In a previous video, 76% of guys are willing to go into debt to woo a woman.
It's like, shows how... did someone just make an incel AI? Is that what this channel is? I'm starting to think maybe it is.
How widespread simping has become. I believe no matter what the context, if you spend money that isn't yours to impress a female, you are by definition simping, no exceptions. Anyway, those are your 5 reasons why simping is here to stay and will inevitably grow even more in the years to come.
Now, simping is here to stay, like I said earlier. It's always been around. It always will be around. I think it's going to get worse. Not like crazy worse. It's not going to have some huge impact like this guy's implying. I think it's going to slowly have less and less of an impact. if you even want to say it has one now. But I do think it will become more of a regular thing as the method in which this monetized simping, it's just going to adapt and evolve like it has, and there's no reason for it to not continue to. And I just don't think it's anywhere as big of an issue as some people purport it to be. Yeah.
If you enjoyed, make sure you press the like button on your way out, and leave any thoughts you had along the way in the comments below, as it all helps the YouTube algorithm.
The other video that I saw from this guy, I actually kind of liked, because it's the kind of thing where I horribly disagreed with it, and then at the end he made like a couple of good points, but yeah, wild. That took a wild turn at the end with him, from perceiving it as though people have more money than ever before to be simping. Just no, like maybe the top whales, like as the wealth has moved upward, the top percentage, the top like 2% of people are wealthier than they have been historically. There's more like whales, I guess, but actually like getting the economy back on track to like pre the Great Recession. Like if we had like the 90s economy, oh my god. These there would be like 10 times the amount of successful OF models. And since the topic is on simping, I'm going to talk about this since OF and simping in general was discussed. It's so much different than what people perceive it to be. People perceive it to be like prawn, like just that, and it's so wildly different. It's actually this like what they're purchasing is this parasocial pseudo relationship. So it's way more complicated because a lot of people like trash it, and they really should view it as more of that and be a little less critical of the people paying these subscriptions and the people creating this content. Because let me tell you, if I could take pictures of my wiener and put them out there and sell them and then pretend like I'm in a relationship with like hundreds of different women, and that would make it so I never have to work again, I would rather do that. I would rather do that than do the 12-hour shifts that I work in a dangerous job, right? Like I would rather do this, be sitting right here and be like, check out my ween a couple times a day, and then just DM people, just DM mofos for a couple hours a day. If that, realistically, if these followers get like 2 responses a week, they're happy. They're happy as a clam with that, right? Even it's like, because if you have a bunch of followers, it's going to be real hard to keep up conversations with them. So a lot of these women on there, they just do exactly that. They do the pickup artist strategy. They do copy and paste, where it's like, oh, hey, I've been busy. How are you doing? And then they just send that to literally all of their followers. And there's functions on there where it allows you to just do that, right? Because you can also send like pictures in a DM to all of your followers. Same thing with just a general statement, right? So, yeah. It's more of like being a it's less like you're making adult content. It's more like you're almost giving therapy, some kind of weird pseudo relationship. It's like you're in an online relationship with a bunch of guys because they're real desperate and they just need any kind of emotional connection, somebody to talk to. It's way different than like any other content. And to call somebody like a prawn star is ridiculous. Like, actually making that kind of adult content, you're literally getting, like, railed on camera in front of a film crew. Well, usually just, like, you know, a very small film crew. You know, whereas taking pictures of yourself in the comfort of your own home and never having to physically interact with anybody, how are these things comparable? Like, an OF model is doing infinitely less than even a stripper, right? Because a stripper has got to go to a workplace where there's people drunk, people doing drugs. They got to dance naked in front of a room full of people live and in person. And then dance, like, do lap dances, dance on top of somebody for money, and get groped and, like, get all kinds of crazy stuff. And work late into the night. Like, work terrible, crappy hours where there's nothing to do besides do some coke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not... These are two insanely different things. And I don't know why something like being an OF model has oftentimes an even worse stigma than being a stripper or being an adult film star. It makes no sense to me. But yeah, men out there, don't be simping. Don't be in some beta orbit. Don't be spending your money. There's better things to spend your money on. If you want to throw money at a woman to feel some kind of connection, there's like street walkers and stuff. There's women you can hook up with for far less money. Far less than what a lot of these guys are throwing out to these women. And even then, you don't need to do that at all. Just develop a personality. Start considering what women find attractive, which is just a confident man who likes to have fun, and who maybe it would be fun to go on a date with, or be in a relationship with, or spend some time with. Just do that. Just treat women like people. It ain't that hard. It's a lot easier than spending any money. You don't need to spend a dime. Realistically, even if you go on a date, spend like how expensive is it to go on a cheap date? I guarantee you, wherever you live, there is a cheapo restaurant. There's a cheap Chinese place where you're going to spend less than $50 total. Is like, I don't know, dudes. Get good.